All right, we are back again with some more baseball BS. You know how it is. We got Ben here rocking the Cubs hat. Let's see
Always.
something on that sweatshirt, Ben. Can you show everybody, please?
Yes. It is a preview. It is the Keeping Up with the BS podcast hoodie. It's very
Love to see it.
We are hopefully going to be doing merchandise later in 2021. We have to figure all that out, see what works, see what doesn't, because obviously I don't want to sell people things that I wouldn't wear. So it's all about
Absolutely.
testing it all out.
And since we're shifting gears to the NL East, you had some looks like you got some people to talk about the NL East with us, since neither one of you or I have any specialty in that.
That is correct. That is correct. So this is going to be interesting. Those of you that are watching, you can see that there's two. I have two fans of different teams on today, not just one like we have been doing. Joining us
I feel
today.
like that's a weird flex, Ben. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey now, but we're going to get some interesting takes. That's for sure. So joining us today, we have my buddy Dave, who's a big Phillies fan, and we got my buddy Vince, who is a big Mets fan. This is going to be
I feel the tension.
a great time. I know, I do too. This is just going to be a great time. So I guess before we do get into this heated division, which is going to be the best division in all of baseball this season, we do have to start how we always start. And as always, Rob Manfred is trying to ruin the game of baseball. He's an absolute clown. This is something all Americans, all baseball fans, we can all get behind. He's a clown.
Hold on. There's more than just Americans in baseball, man. We got Toronto.
Dude, we can get Canadians down in Puerto Rico. They hate him too, probably. You know, Colombia.
Cuba,
everyone. We all
everywhere.
have to hate Rob Manfred.
Canadians are too nice.
That's true. That's why they're going to Buffalo this year.
Yes, that is correct. Dude, probably the only life forms that like Rob Manfred are going to be whatever that new Mars rover thing finds on Mars. If it finds something, they will like Rob Manfred. No one on Earth should like him.
Facts. Absolute facts.
Straight up facts. So I guess with that being said, we'll go ahead and kick it in for our divisions. First things first, we do have to start with who finished first place in division. The 35-25 Atlanta Braves last season. I think they're going to be good again. Everyone's saying that they're going to finish like third or fourth. I don't see it.
I almost lost my mind when I saw the predictions of 82 and 80.
Yeah. That was insane.
Can we talk about the fact that this is a team that literally lost nothing?
They don't lose anybody.
No.
And then re-signed Charlie Morton, who carried the Rays to the postseason.
They lost Cole Hamels.
I mean, you can't say enough good things about the Braves. I know you guys will probably bash them because that's your job.
And I'm okay with that.
They have done it right from what they've done with this team. Mm-hmm. There's nobody besides Freeman, of course, and, Acuna is going to be a big money guy, and Albies eventually will be a big money guy. Yeah. But, they're not out there spending, crazy money.
They're not the San Diego Padres. They're not the San Diego Padres.
Yeah, Freeman obviously is a little bit of digress, but, he's still solid.
Yeah.
Acuna is their franchise, so.
Dude, look at their infield. You got Freeman, you said Albies, Austin Riley, and Dansby Swanson.
Austin Riley's coming.
That's a killer infield.
Yeah, and they signed back Ozuna.
Yeah, that was an under-the-radar signing.
They're like the Cardinals of the 2000s. They just find these, stud pitchers in the minors, and they become these stud pitchers, and I don't understand.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Like Mike Soroka, I would have never guessed he was going to turn into a stud.
No.
What did he hurt last year? Did he get Tommy?
I don't know. They love hurting their elbows.
He tore his ACL.
Oh.
Yeah, he's coming back from ACL.
All right, so not a pitching injury.
No,
not a pitching injury.
A leg injury. Yeah, he tore his right Achilles.
That's fine. That's okay.
Wow.
That's a year injury, but at least his arm's okay.
It's absolutely true.
Yeah.
That's all that matters to me.
Mm-hmm. I would say I was surprised. If there was one thing like Picada, the standings that I don't care about because they're fraudulent. I hate them. Ever since they picked the Cubs to go last place last season, I've been anti-Picada. So I was expecting them to put out fraudulent standings, but like you said, everyone was putting the Braves at 82 and 80.
There's no way any team in the NL East is winning the division by 11 games.
Absolutely not, dude.
Absolutely
I
not.
agree.
Who was that? Fangraphs that said the Mets were going to win by 11, and then it was either Philly or Washington behind them.
It was Washington.
Washington, then the Phillies, and the Braves, and then they're saying the Marlins are going to go back to being the Marlins.
I mean, the Marlins aren't going to have a choice. Like,
No,
here's the
they're not.
reality of it. Like, here's the reality of it. If you're the Marlins, okay, so you have to play, the Phillies, the Mets, the Nats, and the Braves. All 4 of those teams are way beyond what the Marlins are.
Yeah.
No matter who, if the Marlins throw any of their pitching guys, I'm not familiar too much with the Marlins because they change every single half season.
I don't know who's on the Marlins.
You can't put any of those guys against almost any of these teams. They're going to get shredded. The only reason why they were good last year was because no one, 1, expected them, and 2, they had COVID for 3 weeks.
And it was 60 games.
Yeah,
we're talking about a fraction of the amount of games that they normally are.
That was sus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we'd vote them out.
Don't get me wrong. They
came to Philly with COVID.
Yeah.
I think the Marlins will be good, just not this year. I think their pitching staff is decent. They're just young. They have Sixto Sanchez, who's going to be a stud.
He's on my fantasy franchise league. Just
he's
give some good
good.
games.
Phillies gave him up in the Real Muto trade.
I think that worked out well for you.
It did. Didn't look like it was going to for a short while.
If they weren't going to sign him.
We'll get to that. We'll get there.
We'll get there.
It sounds like we're transitioning into the Marlins. So I'm good to wrap up Atlanta.
What do you got for a record for Atlanta?
Atlanta, I do have them going first place. They're not going to win 100.
Same.
I gave them – granted, all of these numbers are very close. I did give them 95 and 67.
I have this division just beating the hell out of each other all season.
Yeah.
So I have them winning 90 games and winning the division.
Yeah, that's fair.
I also have been winning 90 games, but I'm winning the wild card.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's because he's going to go his team.
I know. He's going to pick the Mets. He's going to pick the Mets.
I can't spoil it, but
the paper champs.
Oh, no,
those are the Padres. Those are the Padres.
That is the Padres right now. So I guess this could be an excellent time where if you guys want to keep bashing on the Miami Marlins, that's pretty much what I do. I'm good to do that.
It's not even bashing. It's just they're not there yet.
No.
I mean, at least the Marlins will never have to worry about capacity limits because
True.
their capacity limits will be considered.
You know what's crazy to me is obviously some of this is out of the Marlins' control, but that roster just less than 4 years ago of Stanton, Yelich, Ozuna, Fernandez, that Real Muto, that roster was just beautiful.
They have not been the same since Jose Fernandez.
Yeah. I mean, that's completely 100%. Out of their hands.
Yeah. Oh, but, absolutely.
Trading Yelich and Stanton, I get them trading, but trading Yelich, trading Ozuna, trading Real Muto, those are guys that are arguably potential franchise players, and you had 3 of them.
They're the Pittsburgh Steelers of Major League Baseball. How we're gonna have to tell our kids that Big Ben, AB, and Le'Veon were all on a team together and didn't win a Super Bowl.
And didn't win anything.
Look what the Marlins had, and they still finished last place in their division.
That's like saying with OKC, them having KD, Russ, and Harden, and they still lost.
They're baseball's version of that now.
At least they made it pretty far.
Yeah.
They used to make the playoffs. Marlins didn't even sniff anything.
Yeah, that's true.
They were just redundant.
That was the most 2020 thing, the Marlins making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about right.
And I know everyone that's watching this and listening, since Brandon pointed out, seeing me wearing the Cubs hat, they're like, oh, but the Marlins, they beat the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Dude, it was a 60-game season. The Cubs were awful. Where have you been? I've been roasting the Chicago Cubs since 2018.
Everybody's going to beat them this year. It's okay.
Everyone is. But here's the thing. The Mets, Phillies, and Nationals are all going to be better than the Cubs, and they're just going to beat the absolute hell out of the Marlins.
So going on the Cubs really quick, what NL East team does Chris Bryant eventually go to? Is it the Mets, the Phillies, or the Braves?
I'll say this. I was so happy to see Justin Turner re-sign with the Dodgers.
I was so surprised to see him sign with the Dodgers.
I was so happy because that means Chris Bryant's not going there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can get Bryant in the outfield,
He can't play left field. He can't play left field.
That is true.
That would hinder on McCutchen or Harper playing center.
And this isn't 5 years
I would
ago.
if I had to pick one, I'd pick Bryce, though, to put in center.
Well, you're not going to put
McCutchen.
He's 35 years old.
Yeah, McCutchen, coming off torn ACL 2 years ago.
Yeah.
David Ross did put Chris Bryant in center field, I think, once last year. So
Did he really?
I think he did. I mean, I think it was Ross, but I also, if I had to bet money, I would throw an entire paycheck on Joe Madden because that's some easy Joe Madden shenanigans.
As much as I know Ben's going to hate this, if there's a team in the NL East that's going to get Bryant, and I think I said this before with Bryant, I made a bold prediction at the beginning of all of our videos. He's going to be a deadline trade that's similar to Manny Machado.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be a guy he's not going to be a guy, obviously everybody wants him, right? That's just the reality of it. But the reality of it is there's going to be a team that's going to come out of nowhere who loses their third baseman or left fielder and is going to pay for the rental. That's what's going to happen. It's not going to be a trade and sign how the Cardinals sign every single person. But
do you want to know?
It's going to be one of those trades that you don't expect and they come out of nowhere.
Do you want to know who it's going to be?
Yeah, I really, like you said, I really do think it's going to come down to an injury. If McCutchen goes down or if Alec Baum goes down, the Phillies might instantly, and if they're still in contention, they're going to obviously explore that option. And
it ultimately comes down to how he plays.
I'm gonna date this back to last season, and even the first team that as soon as the dust settled, the first team linked to Chris Bryant, and this is where he's gonna go because they've been going for Cubs all off season. He's gonna be a member of the Washington Nationals by the trade deadline.
Ooh, that's a good.
He's going to play third base because I'm looking at their third base and I'm not impressed by either of the guys.
If you're the Cubs GM right now, I would be thrilled with that because they have a top prospect at third base who will come in and literally be your starting third baseman instantly.
Exactly.
They have Carter Kaboom.
Give me straight up.
And he's a pretty solid prospect, though, for the Nationals.
That's what I'm saying. That's the guy I'm talking about. He's going to be the guy that's going to be the prospect.
Right.
He would be traded 100%. He'd be gone. But as a member of the Nationals or as a GM of the Nationals, do you trade Kaboom for an expiring contract?
I think
where you're at.
If I'm in a position where I need one bat and I'm the NL favorites, I'm pulling the trigger.
I mean, because you got to think if you're the Nationals, right? In theory, how much longer you got is prime Scherzer?
The window is closing, and Strasburg's getting up there.
Strasburg before that arm.
Strasburg's exactly. And I mean, John Lester. Well, we'll get to the Nationals. I don't want to get too much into.
Let's get there.
To wrap up the Marlins, though, because we've gotten off of the Marlins.
Yeah.
I do have them. They're going back to the cellar. They suck.
Yeah, they're going
suck.
to last.
67 and 95.
One-hit wonder.
Wins.
Yeah.
Flash in the pan because they played the Phillies the most of the season, and the Phillies can't beat the Marlins.
Facts. Like the Red Sox, they can't beat the Orioles. It's fine.
Yeah,
it happens.
Okay, but speaking of playing the Phillies, that is our next team, 28 and 32 last year. I would like to ask Dave, what the hell happened to stupid money?
They choked.
What happened to that quote?
They choked last year. They had to win one game in that stretch to make the playoffs, and they couldn't. But stupid money, they had us scared. They made it really sound like JT was not coming back this year.
I didn't think he was.
I didn't think he was
I didn't think he was either.
I could have swore he was going to the Mets.
As
soon as the Mets signed McCann, I knew he was going back to Philly.
The Mets kind of screwed themselves on this in theory because when they came out and signed McCann, it instantly made Realmuto kind of stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because no one was going to give him the money.
Mm-hmm.
One, because he's a catcher.
Yeah.
Two, because no one's going to pay that. I mean, look, last catcher, if I'm not mistaken, that I saw get a big deal, and I could be wrong, so please fact check me. But the last two catchers that I've seen got big money was Buster and Mauer.
Both sound accurate.
Jonathan Lucroy got a huge.
I hate Buster Posey.
We hate Buster Posey.
But I'm just saying, you're not besides Philly, what other team? Maybe the Dodgers if they really wanted to be stupid.
So the only other team I saw linked to Realmuto was the Nationals. So regardless, the Mets were fucking themselves by signing McCann so early because he was going to stay in the division no matter what.
Yeah, I think the Mets ultimately identified that McCann was going to be a cheaper option, and they were looking at other fish there. They knew that Real Muto was not the piece that was going to be the situation. Plus, they got to figure out how to sign Lindor. So,
yeah.
They
Well,
have
with
a lot
these
of
teams,
players
especially with this Real Muto thing, I think all these teams are like, okay, well, we're probably not going to get him, so let's start looking at our plan B. And he's just sitting over there like, guys.
well, I mean, but think about it, like, he made the mistake too. I mean, his camp did, not him. But like, they came out and said they wanted this 5-6 year deal, and like, if you're
That's
a
a
GM,
lot,
like, you
dude.
can't do that with a catcher.
Yeah, especially he's at 30 years old. Yes, he is the best catcher in baseball.
Yeah,
Like,
no
If he
doubt.
was the first baseman, I would do it.
yeah,
He's gonna end up at first
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, he could still. Yeah, Reese has been streaky.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, definitely. Like, he's 30 years old. He's still the best defensive catcher in baseball, and he's one of the top offensive catchers in baseball as well.
If you're the Phillies right now, in all honesty, if you bank on 3 years of him playing hypothetically 130, 140 behind the plate, that's a win.
Yeah.
I am worried about the Phillies this year, especially in the rotation. I still love Aaron Nola and Zach Wheeler. I think that's a great 1-2 punch.
Spencer Howard showed some.
Yeah. Jake Arrieta leaving, that was good.
Arrieta's trash.
Yeah, he's not.
If
we signed him for fan nostalgia. I guarantee that's what it was.
If the Phillies didn't sign Real Muto, but then they gave Arrieta $25 million a year for 3 years for what he did, no. Philly might have burned down.
ERA, dude.
Well, isn't McCutchen's contract off the books next year too?
Yeah, McCutchen. I think it's his third year.
And they paid him like what, $15 million?
Yeah, something in that range. And then
Did they really?
I think
they
Segura
overpaid him big time.
Yeah, I think Segura is getting there too. I would trade him.
Yeah, you just got to find the right team.
I'm telling you, Cincinnati.
We re-signed Didi Gregorius, to 2 years.
That's a great signing.
That is a great signing.
To bridge the whole Bryson Stott. Bryson Stott is going to be the future shortstop for the Phillies, along with Alec Baum.
Alec Baum's nice.
Dude, I'm telling you, Alec Baum, he's going to be the most exciting player in Philly. Sorry, Bryce, but Alec Baum is going to be the most exciting player.
Baum reminds me a lot of Scott Rowland. I hate to compare him there because Scott Rowland was a Philly, but he reminds me a lot of Scott Rowland.
He's
100%.
He should have been Rookie of the Year, but I digress.
If it wasn't for JT Realmuto, I would say my favorite signing that they did was Archie Bradley.
Yes.
I love Archie Bradley. He'll be a great closer.
Is he going to be a closer?
Yes.
I would hope so. Yeah.
So my only fear
3.91 ERA for his career. 28
how do you get to him?
That's the thing, because your starter can't hand the ball to Archie Bradley every game.
What do you mean? They can't go 8 innings?
No.
Come on. What?
Not all of us can have the pitching staff of the New York Mets.
Yeah, I'm not worried about our offense. Our offense consistently put up 3 to 5 runs a game. It was very seldom they were held to 1, 0, 2 runs a game. Countless times that bullpen has blown the game. We probably would have been over 500, and we probably would have been fighting for that first division spot if the bullpen didn't give up.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, your offense is real nice. Like Bryce Harper, if he's on, we know what he is. That's for sure. JT Realmuto, best hitting catcher in baseball. You know what you're getting there. Didi, you're going to get 18 to 25 bombs, 60 to 80 ribbies, depending on who's on base at the time. Honestly, like you said, Alec Baum's kind of the wild card in this, because if he comes in and drops 25 to 30 bombs, and Rhys Hoskins is going to hit 240, but he's going to hit 25 bombs too. Like, that's a pretty scary offense.
And the thing with the Phillies lineup too is these players can move all up and down the lineup. Hoskins can hit third or fourth. Harper can hit third or fourth. Realmuto can come up and hit third or fourth.
Girardi can put him wherever he wants.
And
who's the manager?
My biggest concern
Girardi.
with the Phillies lineup.
Oh, okay, cool. We like Girardi.
Dan Girardi.
Okay.
So we've got a very experienced, championship-winning, manager at the helm. My biggest concern with the Phillies lineup is center field.
Yeah.
Well,
Herrera.
The bullpen's
completely screwed you guys.
Yeah. Well, they invited him to spring training.
Why? Bro,
What happened with him?
if we picked up the phone and called Addison Russell, that garbage fraud.
What was his deal again? It wasn't Roy, was it?
No, he was charged with domestic abuse.
Oh, he's Chris Brown. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, we hate him.
It's weird. I heard
We hate him.
The girlfriend recanted the charges and apparently forgave him. So I don't know.
Like he wasn't performing either, though. Like it wasn't like
he was slumping when it.
Yeah.
Wait, but
he's an average fielder. He had speed. That's what his gimmick was, and obviously a couple years down the line, his speed is not going to be where it.
Yeah.
And he's been known to dog it. He's not, and I know Girardi's not going to like that if he dogs it like he was before when Gabe Kapler was at the helm.
So Odubel Herrera is still a Philly. Like he's still on the team after a whole domestic abuse.
I think he got released and they re-signed him.
Yeah,
they had his contract was guaranteed or something. It was something ridiculous. It was kind of like a Bobby Bonilla type deal. So they're like, you know what? Might as well get some.
Might as well,
God. Well, they got to get something because Roman Quinn's not the answer there.
No, yeah, Roman Quinn's he's speedy. He's very serviceable, but he injury prone.
He's a pinch runner.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say this because this will hurt me inside, but like JBJ is kind of like the right guy for that spot.
Yeah.
There's
your stupid money right there, JBJ.
Well, but see, here's the thing: like, it doesn't have to be stupid money. Like,
no, it doesn't.
Look at your lineup. The lineup everywhere in that order. The Boston has the same problem. 20 to 25 bombs by 5 or 6 guys.
Yep.
You can afford a spot to be straight defense.
No, you can. That's like what we used to do with Jason Hayward. Now the lineup just sucks overall, but
like
that's what we do.
If you've got JBJ in center, like obviously he's going to hit $130, but he'll catch everything that's hit between right center and left center.
Exactly, which
we
got no one right now that can do that.
Honestly, he'd be a really good addition, JBJ, to the Phillies.
I'm still shocked he has not signed.
But it's okay.
We're in spring training and no one has signed him.
You know, they told us stupid money. Stupid money. The only stupid money they spent was Harper.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money.
I don't count re-signings as stupid money either. I count big free agents. Exactly.
Yeah.
For the Phillies,
I mean, Zach Wheeler wasn't like an over the top signing. He was like he got his market value.
Yeah.
I love Zach Wheeler. I think
he's getting a record-breaking contract.
The only thing with Wheeler is you don't know if he's going to pitch the whole season. He has the Chris Sale problem.
Right. So I guess for these next 3 teams, the Phillies, Nationals, and Mets, I have them.
Also, wait, hold on, Ben.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
Speaking of the rotation, how does Vince Velasquez throw one 16 strikeout game and has somehow survived throwing he hasn't pitched below 3.5 ERA probably his entire career. What does he have on the pitching coach, on the manager, on the front office that he survives?
A heartbeat.
Something good.
Like a heartbeat.
He's not a starter.
No, he's not.
He's a 5th guy at best.
Yeah.
And we're trying to use him as a 3,
Oh, that's bad.
Hopefully Spencer Howard showed some flash. Hopefully
his best ERA is a 4.12. That's his best year in 2000.
You're gonna need Spencer Howard to be a stud.
The step up.
Yep.
Somebody.
That's a huge yikes.
That might be another mid-season deadline train the Phillies make. It'll be another.
So say we're at like the trade deadline halfway through, and the Phillies are in playoff contention. Who do you want them to go out and get?
I mean, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
I assume it's going to be pitching. Like I imagine.
So here's my thought. Go with me on this. Let's say San Francisco digresses a little bit. Let's say Philly goes and gets Kevin Gossman.
Be a solid addition.
That'd be a good addition. I'm not a Philly fan, obviously, but I think he'd be a good addition to.
Because it's not going to hurt them with the money because he's on a qualifying offer, so he's gone at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And you're not going to have to give up a top 10 prospect to get him.
No, you'd give up chump change. Yeah, I think that'd be.
We don't have prospects anyway, other than Bryson Stott.
Exactly. So there you go.
Yeah.
The only other guy that I could see them potentially pitching-wise would, honestly, I don't really – okay, the only other option, and this, unfortunately, Philly wouldn't really be able to do because they don't have the prospects to do it, is Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo would be an addition.
But
Since he already wants too much.
But Luis Castillo is going to be going after by the Angels, the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Phillies, the Mets even.
He'll be a Yankee or an Angel.
Like that prospect haul that the Reds are going to get is going to be gross.
Yeah, it is.
If I'm the Reds, I ask for Joe Adell from the Angels and start from there.
Oh, absolutely. You have
Absolutely.
to.
Yeah.
Yep. That's not a bad place to start.
If it's not Joe Adell, it's Brandon Marsh.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So these last three teams, I have them each like 3 games, 3 games, 3 games.
Yeah, they're all the same in theory. As much as like I don't want to say that because each team has done different things and but they're all in the same exact spot.
Right.
Like the Phillies, like we've talked about, their bullpen is a bunch of AAA pitchers. No offense. Besides,
welcome to my world.
The Mets have just had DeGrom, who is arguably the best pitcher in baseball when he's on. Syndergaard, who knows what you're going to get with him?
No, you have no clue right now.
Probably nothing until at least July, if that.
June. It's predicted June.
You know, you traded Matz, which wasn't really a big trade, but you shed payroll, I guess. But, like, and you guys obviously got Lindor, which is a big deal. You got Carrasco, which is a big deal.
Yeah, that was
bringing in McCann.
That was the move that pissed me off the most this offseason.
Yeah.
It was Lindor to the Mets.
Yeah, that one stung. It's okay, Scott's still on silent watch with his candles right now.
Yeah, dude, he's still upset about it.
I almost crashed my car when Ben texted me. I got a text from you, yo, congrats for getting Lindor. I was driving to work. I almost crashed because, like, what the fuck?
That's safe.
Listen.
Oh, my God.
I'll be honest. I was the same way when the Sox got Chris Sale, so.
Yeah, I was like, bro, this is a game-changing.
Yeah. But, I mean.
Dude, like, I was in class when we signed Yu Darvish, and the professor was given, like, what were those called?
Presentation.
Yeah, lecture, whatever. She's like talking, and then all of a sudden I go, you! And everybody just looks at me and go, we got you, Darvish. Sorry. It was a great time.
Carry on.
So if you look at the Mets, so like obviously, you know, you guys brought in pieces, you've signed back Stroman. Like your rotation's pretty solid. Like that is not going to be an issue. It's once you get in that lineup, like I know you guys had some guys that progressed nicely this year. But after Lindor, there's no one in your lineup that I'm like, oh, we need to.
I still think the Mets have one of the better lineups in the division. I don't think it's as good as the Nats.
It's not like you need to worry about it.
It's not as good as the Braves. Definitely not as good as the Braves. Don't get me wrong. I think the Mets need a DH. If a DH is in the NL.
Oh, yeah. Pete Alonso leads first base and you go sign someone better.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a DH?
Real quick. We'll just transition to the Mets right here. My Phillies, I went 84 and 78, and I went 4th in the NL East. But I do have a hot take at the end of this episode.
But everybody in this division, besides Miami, of course, barring some crazy stuff, like they're all interchangeable.
Yeah, it really could be anybody's game this year. It all depends on who gets on that hot streak at the end of the year, and if the Phillies could beat up on the Marlins this year,
who performs, honestly.
A sweep of even like a series sweep could like completely change the entire course of this division.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly,
and the division's never over with the NL East. You know, like
no, it's not.
As the Phillies proved in 2007 when the Mets blew that 7-game lead in September.
Wow.
In September,
just throw fuel to that fire.
Yeah, the fire.
At the game where Tom Glavine gave up 7 runs to the Marlins in the first inning, like the last game of the season where the Mets blew it. Worst game I've ever been to in my life.
What team was it? God, I'm trying to remember this. I want to say it was to Atlanta when they made the playoffs and they gave up 10 runs in the first inning.
That was Atlanta versus Cardinals.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That was St. Louis and Atlanta.
Yeah, that was like a game 5, game 2. That was like the last game of the series, and they just blew it.
Just got completely shredded.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
And, I mean, I'm willing to say that the NL East kind of struggles in the playoffs because they beat up on each other all season.
They beat up on the Marlins.
That's why I like feel for you, Vince. Like I feel for you. I really do. Because the Mets have just like they started this offseason in this division. Like they were doing all these big things. Like people were like, oh my God, the Mets are back. And then the Nationals and Braves and Phillies are like, we're not gonna let you do that. And
Hold my beer.
Everyone's
it's honestly piling. Like it's really like I think the Braves signing Morton, you know, out of nowhere, because that's what the Braves do. They sign people like 2 days after free agency starts. And then the Mets getting Lindor, like everybody in the division was like, oh shit.
The Mets had the second best offseason in all of baseball behind the San Diego Padres.
Oh yeah.
But you can argue that whole situation.
I think the Mets had the third best offseason behind the Dodgers and the
I forgot about Power. The ruiner of fun.
Yeah, but the
Dodgers are playing with Monopoly money.
Yeah,
dude.
They don't have a
what is money? Is it even real?
Not for them.
Not to them. Not at all.
But like, I mean, also think about this too. Like, if you look at the Nationals, like their top three in the rotation of Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin, like that's pretty damn solid. It's just the problem is Lester's a solid 4. Let's not downplay that. But like, if you go into their bullpen, you can drop 5 or 6 runs on that bullpen easily.
Yeah.
I would say in the middle innings. I would disagree with the late innings because I love their late bullpen guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. Like Scherzer and Strasburg, most likely would go 6 or 7. Corbin's not a long pitcher. He's gonna go 5 almost every single start.
Yep.
So
6-7 innings. That's where
that's a signing I wish the Phillies did was Corbin.
Yeah,
he'd be that solid 3, maybe 4 guy. You know.
But he got the same money as Wheeler pretty much. So I mean,
Wheeler's
paying for the same player, just Wheeler's better.
Right.
And younger, like much younger.
Yeah, much younger. And like if you look, and like the Nationals made some good moves. They brought in Schwarber for left.
They got Josh
honestly,
Bell.
Rest in peace, Cubs.
I bashed this when they did this, but they got Josh Bell for a bag of baseballs.
Yeah.
Guys, you guys are hopping in front of this. Like, just what about the Mets? Like, what happened? What's our predictions for the Mets? We're like the predictions. Throw those out the window.
I mean, honestly, like here's the thing though. With this division, like they don't really matter because like
no, they don't. They really don't.
Every team is going to be in the same exact like you said, like 3-win area. Like, does it matter?
Last and everyone else just above the Marlins in any order that you choose.
Yeah,
that's fair.
No team's going to win the division by I would say more than 5 games.
I have to hate the Nationals this year because, and at no fault of their own, do I hate the Nationals, but I'm going to.
But they signed your 2 guys, so
I did love Kyle Schwarber. I have a Kyle Schwarber jersey hanging in my closet. I love John Lester, best free agent signing in all of Chicago Cubs franchise history.
You're welcome.
We just let him go. So I hate Tom Ricketts so much. That pisses me off. They signed John Lester for $5 million. We couldn't give him $5 million, but then 3 weeks later, we can give Jake Arrieta, who was worse last year,
by a lot,
$2 million more than that. What happened there? And I'll tell you, Nolan Arenado happened.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
That's exactly what it was.
That made me so – I was happy for like 3 seconds until someone – I think it was Dave – sent me the contract or whatever, and I'm like, you got to be effing kidding me.
Oh, like the details? Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is
I saw
Arrieta
how much money it was.
Arrieta's at least 34.
I think
he's
35 this year.
Yeah, he's going to be a guy who he might pitch 100 innings if you're lucky.
Yeah. That signing was pure fan nostalgia.
He's turning 35 in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Yeah, he's old.
Yeah, he's old.
But yeah, I like the moves Washington made. I think Kyle Schwarber is arguably an upgrade over Adam Eaton, at least at the plate. You know, everybody bashes on Kyle Schwarber's
defensively, no, but
yeah, he's got a cannon of an arm though. Like, have you ever seen him gun people? Like, I was at the game back in 2000. I think it was 2017 or 18. It was 17 because it was the first year we had Chatwood, and that game was terrible. But you know, I was at the game. Chatwood sucked. The Indians got up like 7-0 by the end of the second inning. But the third inning, or whatever it was, Lindor hit it all the way to the wall, right? Like it's in the ivy. Schwarber gets it. guns him down at second base. I'm like, bro. Like, he's got a
And the thing is, the Nationals they knew exactly what they were doing this offseason.
Mm-hmm.
They went out and got 2 guys who are going to mash.
Yeah.
And, like, they have Victor Robles in center.
Mhm.
You have Juan Soto, who's arguably one top 5 player in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, so,
Yeah.
I mean, and you still have Trey Turner, who's solid.
Mm-hmm.
You got that kid coming up at third, like we talked about.
Or Chris Bryant.
You're connected to Chris Bryant. You know, like, the team is not bad. Like, it's a solid team. It's just every team in the NL East besides the Marlins is pretty much the same.
I would be scared as a National because you're basing everything off of how well Scherzer, Strasburg, and Corbin and Lester have, like, aged and progressed.
Right.
Obviously,
That's what I'm saying. Like, their window is now.
great. Yeah, like,
That's
they have
all
to
they
win
have.
now.
Like, this year is pretty much the direction of the Nationals for the next 3 to 5 years.
I mean, even if they don't, it's like they tried. Like, they just won the
They
World
still have
Series.
Soto. Like, regardless of what happens to the Nationals this year, they still have Juan Soto, and
And they got to lock him up as soon as possible.
They're going to.
They can't not.
Well, the Tatis contract, that tells me right there that Soto's going to get more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
I'd rather pay Soto any day of the week than Tatis.
I think it's hard with Tatis because, like, Tatis plays shortstop. It's, like, such a premium position compared to right field or left field.
I think they're going to overpay Soto.
Oh,
The reason I think they're going to overpay him is because they didn't do it with Harper.
Or Rendon.
Hey.
Or Rendon, yep.
Like, they have to do it now. Like, this is the time to do it.
Makes Harper look cheap.
You know, we've transitioned from this time in free agency where, you know, you just sign these guys to big contracts, and then we've had these last 2 years before this current off season where you know, guys aren't getting their market value in free agency, and now all of a sudden we're getting this new trend where we're just going to extend our guys to these absurd amounts of money that they would normally get.
Here's the thing too: is I think a lot of players are realizing that, like, free agency is a dangerous game.
It is.
Like, and I think, like, for example, obviously Tatis, the money is incredible, right?
Yeah.
But, like, if this was 15, 20 years ago, and Derek Jeter's on his way up, being in his early 20s, this would have been the exact same deal the Yankees would have given him.
Yeah.
Well, that's also the Yankees.
But I'm just saying, like, that's exactly – but, like, it's the exact same thing.
The Yankees bought all their rings.
Yeah.
Of course they did.
Yeah.
But, like, my fear, like, if you're the Padres right now, and I hate keep going back to the Red Sox here, but if you're the Padres, you better hope like hell that he's Jeter and not Nomar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Easily.
It's such a small sample
He
size.
hasn't even played 162 games yet. He has not played a full season of baseball. You offered him that much money for like a 14. It's crazy.
AJ Preller is either going to be a pure mad genius or he's going to complete idiot.
Well, I mean, he has 2 of the biggest contracts ever on the same roster right now.
Yeah.
Dude, they're paying, what was it, $820 million to
$812 million for infield. That's crazy.
Yeah. They're stuck with Hosmer for another, like, 4 years, too.
Yeah. Their payroll's going to skyrocket, dude.
Yeah.
They're going to have a top 5. They might have a top 10. They've got to have a top 10 payroll.
They're definitely top 5.
They're definitely top 5 payroll.
Yeah.
Because, wait, let's think right now. So it's what? Yankees, Dodgers. I think the Cardinals are definitely up there. The Sox are probably up there.
The Mets are up there.
The Mets are up there.
We're not.
Honestly, I think the Phillies might be up there.
The Angels, the Astros.
We got rid of it all. Here, I'll give you the top 10. According to Spot Track, this is current as of February 18th, the time of this recording. The top 10 is in order: Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies, Astros, Angels, Mets, Red Sox, Nationals, Padres, Cardinals.
How sad is it the Angels are paying that much and they still suck?
Yeah, that's unfortunate, dude.
It's that Mike Trout contract.
Probably
it's
like
30%.
No.
It's the Justin Upton and Albert Pujols contract.
Oh,
yeah. I forgot about those.
I forgot about those 2 guys, yeah.
Those are the 2 contracts. The Trout contract by itself is what it is.
Mike Trout's worth every dollar he's getting.
It is.
Yeah.
But, like, you're spending these money. I mean, they try to get Bauer, too. Like, they could have had such a crazy-ass contract. Even Ohtani had a lot of money.
Oh, and they're paying Rendon. I forgot they had him.
And Rendon.
Yeah. When they signed Pujols to that contract, we all knew, like, when we got to this point in time, that was going to be a terrible contract.
Remember, too, that team also signed C.J. Wilson that offseason for stupid money. And they got Josh Hamilton, that stupid contract.
Josh Hamilton. Oh,
Yeah, dude.
I miss
forgot
Josh
he existed.
Hamilton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess, records really don't, since they're all going to be so close, I guess I'll just list what I have them finishing in then.
Okay.
So for 2021, I have Braves, I have Mets, I have Nationals, I have Phillies, I have Marlins.
Yeah, that's exactly how I have it.
Mm-hmm.
I swap Mets and Braves.
Naturally.
I think I'm gonna swap the Phillies and the Nationals.
That's fair. I could see them.
A little bit more
Just
modest.
because of the uncertainty of their rotation. If one of them gets hurt,
which is bound to happen.
Strasburg.
Bound to happen. I think it's going to be Corbin. I think Corbin goes down.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say Corbin.
My hot take, though, is that the NL East will get 4 playoffs teams this season. Just like the Central did last year, the NL East will have 4 playoff teams.
I don't think we're doing expanded playoffs.
Oh, we're not?
I don't think so.
We were.
Oh, then I thought we were, too.
I don't think
If we are, then we get all 4. If we don't, you get the 2 wildcard teams.
Correct.
Oh, wait, no, you're going to get
one because San Diego.
Yeah.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Okay.
But you know what? The hot take's going to stick. What if the Padres suck?
Hot take. Bouncing off Ben. We're going to have a game 163 between 2 NL East teams.
That's a hot take.
Phillies Mets. Calling it.
It's going to be Phillies Mets. It's going to be Phillies Mets.
It's going to be Braves Mets. Whoever wins the division. Whoever loses plays wild card.
Ooh.
I think it's going to be.
I think it's going to be the other
the wild card.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be for the division.
MLB will not expand playoffs in 2021.
Again, Rob Manfred sucks eggs.
Yeah.
I mean, name one good commissioner in the 4 major sports.
Who's the NHL guy?
Can't be that
Gary
bad.
Bettman.
Theo
Epstein. But he already sounds better than the other 3.
He does sound better than the other 3.
He handled the bubble well. He handled that situation very well.
Adam Silver actually did a pretty good job with basketball, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like that whole Disney thing. Like that.
I mean, was that him or was that Disney?
I think that was a mix.
Yeah. I give more credit to Disney than I do to Adam Silver, dude. I feel like Disney was like, here, we'll do it all. You just pay us. Okay? And Adam Silver went over to the Grand Floridian and he's sipping his little drink.
Because they're going to have the All-Star game. That's exactly what it is. Adam Silver's a joke because they're having an All-Star game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a clown, too.
Crazy.
When your best player and your most arguably, biggest draw in basketball, LeBron James, comes out and says, "Why are we having an All-Star game?"
So did Giannis. Giannis was like, "This is stupid."
Yeah, why?
Like, those are your 2 biggest players right there.
The only All-Star game that means anything is baseball, and didn't they try to do away with the?
They tried to.
Just do it like the NFL did, even if it's stupid. Just make a video game tournament or whatever. Like the Pro Bowl thing was stupid.
I think baseball hosts it. I think MLB actually has an All-Star game this year.
I think
they will, but I think by the time the All-Star game comes for baseball, I think we're going to be a little bit further along on this COVID situation.
Yeah, I think it's. I was saying this before. Like,
fingers crossed.
We were dealing with it, and like people were like a lot less lenient during the summer. But like now we're going another year and more vaccines and more all this shit. It's going to be mostly like deaded. Not deaded, but like it's going to be.
And it's also like the only All-Star game that actually people enjoy, because you can't like half-ass it.
No.
Well, I hope that if we don't get an All-Star game for whatever reason, because this thing has been impossible to predict. We don't know what's going to happen. But if for whatever reason we can't have that, if we could do like what some players did, before while baseball, the country was still locked down. Remember how they did that video game tournament on Twitch or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
If we could get the All-Stars just to play the show against each other on Twitch, that would be awesome.
I want a home run derby, just all the All-Star players.
Yes.
Dude, yes. That would be sick.
Home run derby.
And you don't have and just to add more fun to it, because why not? There's no fans anyway. Metal bat.
I think they can have an actual home run derby.
Dude, stop giving Rob Manfred ideas.
Where's the All-Star game this year?
Oh no! Thank God nobody had to go to LA for it.
Is it in LA this year?
It was supposed to be in LA last year.
Didn't they push it back to LA this year because they didn't get to do it last year.
No, it's
I
in
don't-
Atlanta.
They need all that revenue, you know.
It's Atlanta this year. I think
Ooh.
I think
Truist Park.
2023 is.
I know it's in Philly in 26 to celebrate some monument.
I know
2023
Fenway's not going to get it ever again, so I'm just going to
2023
stop
is
that.
Los
Yeah, they're
Angeles.
giving them next year. That's stupid. Unless they had it originally if they had it originally scheduled like that, that's stupid.
I'm still so mad that the Red Sox didn't get Fenway on the 100th year.
I think when they say that, like,
Wasn't that the
remodeling
Phillies?
Fenway, they'll do it.
I don't remember if it was the Phillies.
With the 100-year baseball.
I get it. Like, well, no, I'm saying like the 100-year Fenway.
Oh.
Like, they should have had that. Like, same thing with Wrigley. Like, when they hit their 100th year, it should be at Wrigley. Like, that's two
Dude, I don't even
stadiums
remember the
that,
last
in
time it was at
theory, like,
Wrigley.
you can't touch.
They haven't hosted an All-Star game since 1999 for Red Sox.
Yeah, and they're not going to because the stadium doesn't hold shit.
Yeah.
Oh, so
The favorites for 2023 are actually Wrigley Field. Funny enough.
Let's go.
Ben, we going.
Coors Field and Wrigley Field are the two favorites for 2023.
Who the hell wants to go to Colorado?
Who wants to go to Colorado?
Yo,
What's in Colorado?
In all fairness, they'll need the revenue.
Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind. I know it's in Colorado.
We know
So
it's in Colorado.
they announced 20.
Never mind.
Yeah, they announced 2026 was going to be in Philly because it's the 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So they're having it in Philly in 2026.
Okay, that is acceptable. That's
That's
That
acceptable.
makes sense.
I just want to have a Red Sox All-Star game before I die.
I like to see Chicago get it, the Cubs. I like to see City Field get it because I didn't go to the last one, so I want to see
I was like,
that.
City Field just had it. What the hell are you smoking?
2000 and like
whatever they have in Colorado, Brandon.
I'm just saying, like, but I'm saying,
It was
like,
like
wasn't
2011.
Matt Harvey the starting pitcher? Like, that wasn't that long ago.
Matt Harvey's going to be
Matt
great for the
Harvey.
Baltimore Orioles. He will be excellent for the Baltimore Orioles. I
He'll be the
guarantee
only guy
it.
under 6 ERA for Baltimore, so I'm good.
That's pretty good for the Orioles.
Rachel.
He's
Oh,
going
that's
to
gonna
throw a
be
net
great.
here against the Red Sox just because you're talking shit.
Oh man.
It's okay. We're gonna get swept by the Orioles every chance we get. We're really good at it.
Same with the Phillies and the Marlins.
Yeah.
Phillies
Three
was
games
swept.
out from
Same with us and
Yankees
the
in
Reds.
division, swept.
Yeah, we'll play the Yankees hard, and then we go to Baltimore, and it's like our team decided to stay on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Didn't you beat the
Happens.
Yankees every single game last year? Or was it the
Yes,
opposite?
we did.
Oh yeah,
First
like
time
what
ever.
the hell happened? Like that was like my thing. Like the Red Sox, I think won what 22, 24 games last year,
It was under 30 for
and
sure.
I think half of them were against the frickin' Yankees.
Yep, we play good against the good teams, and we suck against everybody else.
I do not understand. That's baseball, baby. You love it. You
You
love
never
it
know what's gonna happen.
because the team that should win doesn't
Never
always end up
does.
winning. That's the beauty of the sport.
That's
Here's
why
the- 'cause-
baseball's great.
It's
Yep.
amazing. It doesn't. It literally is just a game of literally just luck. In all honesty,
Yeah. Yeah.
Hitting a little fucking ball 3 times, going 100 miles at your head.
I'm pretty sure Ted Williams said like it's the hardest physical thing to do in sports or something like that. Like
Yeah.
hmm
you're hitting a round ball with a round bat that has barely the diameter of the ball.
Can't even
Like,
blink before the ball reaches the glove of the catcher. Like
I'd
that's
say
how
hockey's up there. I would not be able to do that. Like,
Hockey's crazy
Deflection,
too.
and I can't even get in skates.
yeah, do what they do and then throw them on ice. You know,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Right.
you know, and like the deflections, like how do you? I would not know how to angle. I know it's all the angle of the stick. You know, to deflect it up into the one corner or like.
Yeah, it's like when you play pool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except
mini
like
golf.
scarier.
Yeah.
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 With pool, you don't have to worry about falling on your ass on the ice.
The only sport that allows fighting.
That's fair. Pool?
I love pool.
You can fight in
Great.
pool.
I will say, Buster Posey ruined baseball.
Buster Posey and Rob Manfred holding hands together, probably going to a matinee,
That sounds horrifying.
talking about how they can ruin the game.
He's gonna retire in like a year. Joey Bart's gonna be the future.
Joey
catcher.
Bart is the way of the future.
Yes, he is.
Joey Bart.
We
I have
are
Joey
now
Bart.
we
Love
stand Joey Bart. We're a
Love
Joey
Joey
Bart.
Didn't he
fan.
start all last year?
Yeah, because
Buster
he started
Posey
towards
didn't
the
play.
end.
Opted
Yeah,
out.
Posey he started at the end.
Yeah.
Which I
He's gonna
guess like
start.
I don't know if you guys heard, but like since we're talking about opting out, that is the new like version. Like if you want to quit something, just say you opt out. Like it sounds so much better. Like you're quitting your job. No, man, for personal reasons, I have to opt out.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound as bad. You're in your next thing. So why did you quit your last job? No, sir, I opted out.
I didn't quit.
I didn't quit. I opted out. Like it just sounds so much better.
I opted out.
It's a 2020s thing. Welcome to the 2020s, ladies and gentlemen. We opt out. We don't quit. We opt out.
We opt out. That's right.
And I think for NL East wise, I think we're ready to opt out.
I think we're ready. I'm using my opt-out clause.
Unless you guys have anything else for Mets Nation or Phillies Nation.
It's gonna be a good year. Good. Oh,
Yeah,
watch. We're all gonna say it's the best division in baseball, and then it's gonna be the complete opposite. It's gonna be the worst. It's gonna be the NFC East.
No.
Of baseball this year.
Why would you even put that into the universe? Why would you
No.
Why would you
On
now.
that note,
we'll be playing. Who wants a division? Do you want it?
I mean, we do have a Washington. We have a Philadelphia team. We got a New York team. So
yeah,
it all makes sense.
It all makes sense. It's coming together.
I hope not.
Oh God.
I'll cry.
I feel hurt already.
Yeah, that bothers me. That you even
I don't have the dog in this fight, and I feel the pain.
What a shit show the NFC East was this year. The Giants should have won. The Giants should have won the division.
The whole division should have won a game, but no one wanted to.
No.
But the Eagles,
like what the NL Central is going to look like.
Decides to sit his players to like sabotage the fucking Giants for some reason. Like, bro.
That was a situation for a whole other day.
Now Zachary.
I understand for the I understand. But I wanted the division title because the Giants would have beat the Buccaneers.
Here you go, Ben.
Yeah.
For the NFC East episode.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Yeah, we'll save that for football. I would say Scott's gonna be pissed if we don't wait for him to talk about.
We're gonna let Scott go off on that a different time. But for now, the MLB NL East, we're opting out. We're done. We're calling.
This episode is opted out. We're opting out.
Fine.
Oh my God.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Have a good day, good night, whatever time of day you're watching this.
Better like and subscribe us though. That's the rules.
You have to give us 5 stars. And remember, if you leave a clown comment, I'm going to make fun of it.
And we will opt out.
We will opt out. No, we won't. We love this. Okay, bye. Bye.